I'm going to do a little ballistic gel test on these 22 WRF cartridges today. So this is 22 WRF. Initially, I thought this was a 22 Magnum and bought them for my 22 Magnum, thinking they were 22 Magnum, but they're not. 22 WRF, after further research, not knowing what I purchased, it means 22 Winchester Rimfire. So it's right between a 22 long rifle and a 22 Magnum. There goes my lid. So these are actually a little bit shorter than a 22 Magnum cartridge, which is how I noticed that something was off. But they're obviously longer than a 22 long rifle. So these are 45 grain hollow points, and it looks like they're segmented there, or at least they got little splits in them so that they'll hopefully mushroom properly. 45 grain. There's no listed velocity on this, but I did look it up, and they're in the advertised 1,300 feet per second. So I got my chrono set down there. Hopefully we can capture some velocity on them. I got my Knox 10% ballistics gelatin here. We're going to shoot them into and see if they'll expand. Now, obviously, this is close range, but I do intend to test these at further range at a later date. Also, by the way, sorry about the wind noise. Yesterday, I can't remember why I couldn't make it out here. What was it? Oh yeah, my gel wasn't ready. We'll talk about that in a second. Today is really freaking windy, but nice out. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day, so it is what it is. I'll try to talk loud enough so you can hear me over the wind noise. Anyways, on the left there is a 22 Magnum. So the center one's the 22 WRF, and then on the right is the 22 long rifle. You can see that 22 WRF is a little bit shorter than the Magnum there. With that being said, the firearm I'm using today is a 22 Magnum. They will chamber, they will fire. That's how I noticed though that there was an issue, is because they kept jamming. And the reason they're jamming is because, well, they don't feed properly, and at least in a semi-auto, and a little lower recoil, not cycling the action fully. So it's not really a good idea to shoot them in here, because they will wear down the breech, or whatever you would call it, eventually. Because of them being shorter, there's a little hop from them to get to the actual beginning of the rifling and the barrel and whatnot. So it's going to cause a little bit of fouling, and it will eventually eat that down. So don't run these in a 22 Magnum for that reason. However, just for the sake of this video and just running a few of them, should be fine. So this is 10% Knox ballistic gelatin. You'll see two BBs there at two vastly different distances. So this was what I was speaking of yesterday. I had the gel in the fridge for 12 hours, pulled it out and shot it. Way over penetration. I was like, what the heck? And I touched it and I was like, well, holy crap, that's not even cold. This stuff has to be temperature controlled, which I already knew, which is why we had it in the cooler there with some ice in there to keep it cool during transport. So I'm just going to make sure I let these cool down for 24 to 36 hours from now on, which I typically do. But on that particular day, I was trying to pull them out at 12 hours and they were not cold enough yet. So after more than 24 hours have surpassed, shot it again, and you can see the vast difference there in penetration. Optimal temperature for these is 39 degrees, so they're straight out of the fridge, in the cooler with some ice in there, and on the table now. Calibration on that, we're actually a little thick, which is amazing because they're so clear, and people ask me how I get them so clear and want me to make a video, and eventually I will do that. But even with this being as clear and transparent as it is, we're actually coming in a little under there. So this is actually a little too thick, because we came in at 2.75 there, and to be in calibration for 10% ballistic gelatin, you got to be between 2.95 and 3.75. Some people even quote between 3.25 and 3.75. So we came a little short because this gel is a little too stiff, which I did it intentionally, because this is a fresh batch. Previous batches, we were coming in a little too long at the very end of the spectrum, so I mixed more. Got a little too much in it. No big deal. So basically, instead of this being 10% ballistics gelatin calibration, we're coming in at like 11 or 12%. So not a very big difference there. It's just a little bit stiffer than what it's supposed to be, but nowhere near 15 or 20% ballistics gelatin. It's just a little bit over. Anyways, with that being said, I could try to get a few over the chrono and the blocks and see what they do. All right, we captured a pretty cool shot here. All right, so I actually wasn't paying attention to the chrono other than to see the second shot was an error. I don't know what the first read was. You guys will see it in the video. 13-19 there. By the way, that's a 21-inch barrel. I wish I had a 22 WRF rifle or revolver or whatever, but honestly didn't even know they existed until I bought that ammo on accident. I'm gonna try to find one eventually one day. I'm sure it's some sort of classic. Anyways, I went so low on this shot that on the second shot I tried to compensate and come in high and came in real high. But still, that's what I was saying was a cool shot. Still caught the bullet. I was like, oh, that one's gone, until I walked up here to adjust that and seen that. That's really cool. So there's our first shot. I'm assuming that one probably went a little further because it skimmed the top there. And then we got the middle shot here coming in right there. Well, yeah, it doesn't seem to be that affected because that one's right there next to it. So these are about 11-12 inch blocks. So that's about 11-12 inches of penetration there. I'll get a measurement on it anyways after we check out these cavities. So especially with this being a little on the thick side, those did hit pretty hard. That's especially this middle one here, that's a much larger cavity than what you would get with some of the best 22 LR rounds. Oh, that's a nice uniform mushroom there. And there's the top one, and then even though it skimmed the top, about the same size. And then there's our bottom one there. It does seem like the wound channel on it maybe slightly smaller, maybe not, it comes down to here. Then there's from the bottom, I just flipped this over, so this was the first shot and this was the third shot. Now you can see the edge of these are tapered slightly, so depending on whether you come in high or come in low, it'll change the measurement about 1/2 inch. So I got it hanging off just a little bit there to be in the happy medium. So this one here looks like about 10.5. The next one right on the nose of 11 there. And then that top one's sitting there right at 11.5. The angle of the camera is a little off there. There you go, 11.5. All right, so in order, this was our first low shot, second high shot, and then third final center shot. Really nice expansion on those. Almost look like little gold dots. See if I can get them stood up here. Same order, left to right, first, second, third. And as for expansion on those, coming in about 3/8 of an inch there. So there you go. Real short and sweet for you. Just wanted to try these out. Pretty impressed. Like I said, we'll try it later at least 50 yards, see how they still perform. So these are really nice rounds. It's definitely give you more punch and more expansion than anything 22 LR does. And pretty nice large cavities too. I did see a little more disruption and size in some of the 22 Magnum loads I've been testing, but these are actually real close. So I gotta find me one of these guns to shoot these. So anyways, sorry that I fired through a 22 Magnum, not actually something chambered in 22 WRF, but you know, I got these not knowing, and well, I'm probably going to hang on to the rest of them, but I thought it'd be neat to make a little cool video out of them. But if you're going to beat me up about it, you're going to beat me up about it, and I don't really care, so expect to be ignored if you do. Like I said, not ideal to shoot these through here, but it's just because it's going to wear down your breech there, your chambers, so that's the only real reason, other than you're going to have malfunctions and whatnot. But it's not a danger or anything to shoot these through there. It's just not quite made for that. Your opinion may differ, but like I said, it is what it is. Anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.